Welcome back, everyone. I am absolutely pumped for today's explainer because we're going to tackle something truly fascinating. Today, we are decoding a profound philosophical paradox drawn directly from ancient texts. We're looking specifically at Bhagavad Gita 9.4 alongside its detailed commentary or purport. If you love unpacking complex ideas and fitting them into clear, logical frameworks, you are in the exact right place. We're about to break down what seems like a completely impossible riddle about the nature of existence itself.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. The text says, "By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them." Read that second part again. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Talk about a mind-bending riddle, right? How can a presence be absolutely everywhere, holding everything within it, but simultaneously not actually be inside those things? It's a total contradiction. It completely challenges our basic everyday understanding of space and physical location. If a box holds a ball, the box is physically interacting with the ball. But here, the source text presents a relationship where the container pervades literally everything, yet remains totally separate. So how does that even work?
Section 1. The Divine Paradox. Let's start by breaking down exactly why this concept sounds so utterly impossible to our ordinary day-to-day brains. To solve this paradox, we really have to understand the terminology. Take the absolutely crucial Sanskrit term avyakta-mūrtinā, which translates to the unmanifested form. The commentary explains that the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be perceived because our everyday gross material senses are just simply not equipped for it. Think about it. Your eyes, your ears, your sense of touch, these are all material instruments, and they're designed to interact strictly with material things. The text basically argues that using these gross material senses to perceive the unmanifested form is like trying to measure the temperature of a room using a tape measure. Actually, scratch that. It's even more impossible than that, but you get the idea. You literally just have the wrong tool for the job. So for people in general, this presence remains completely, totally invisible. So if our basic physical senses are totally useless here, well, what is the right tool? The text actually cites a work called the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu to explain this, stating that the Lord's name, fame, and pastimes cannot be grasped by material senses. Instead, they're revealed. And they're revealed only through a very, very specific type of engagement, pure devotional service under proper guidance. This unmanifested form isn't something you can just force your way into seeing through sheer intellectual horsepower or physical observation. Rather, it's something that reveals itself to the practitioner when the correct methodology is applied.
Section 2, Beyond Material Senses.
Now, if our gross material senses are insufficient, let's explore exactly what kind of vision is actually required to perceive this pervasive presence. What's really fascinating here is how this completely flips our normal understanding of vision. The commentary references the Brahma Samhita, stating that one can see this supreme presence both internally within oneself and externally out in the world under one very specific condition. If one has developed the transcendental loving attitude towards him. That is the key right there. This transcendental attitude acts as the necessary lens. It basically upgrades the viewer's perception, allowing them to finally see what remains entirely unmanifested and hidden to the general public. It's not about changing your physical eyes. It's about changing the consciousness behind those eyes.
Section 3, The Energy of Creation.
Now that we kind of grasp how someone might perceive this presence, let's sift gears and look at the actual mechanics of it. How does this unmanifested, invisible presence construct and support the massive physical universe we live in? Well, the text references discussions from the 7th chapter of the Gita to explain this cosmic architecture. The entire material cosmic manifestation, literally everything we can see, touch, and measure, is actually just a combination of two distinct energies. You have the superior spiritual energy and the inferior material energy. The crucial takeaway here is that all of creation is simply these two energies resting in him. The Supreme isn't out there building the universe like a carpenter building a chair piece by piece. Rather, the universe is a manifestation of these continuously interacting energies. To make this abstract concept beautifully concrete, the text provides a perfect analogy. I want you to visualize the sun shining outside your window. The sun itself is located in one specific fixed place in our solar system, right? But its energy, the sunshine, is spread all over the universe. Everything that is illuminated and warmed by the sun is resting in that diffused solar energy. The sun doesn't have to leave its orbit and physically come down to touch your skin to warm you. Its expanded energy does the job perfectly. And according to the text, in this exact same way, the energy of the Lord is spread all over the creation, and absolutely everything is resting in that energy. Section 4. Everywhere, yet aloof. We are finally ready to introduce the last piece of the puzzle and resolve that ultimate paradox we started with. We need to understand how this pervasive, universe-spanning energy doesn't somehow dilute or dissolve the Supreme's individual identity. This is the natural logical hurdle, isn't it? I want to pose this critical question directly to you, just as the text anticipates it. If this presence is spread literally everywhere, across all galaxies and universes, does it lose its personal existence? Does it just become some formless, impersonal cloud of energy? It's a highly logical question, and it beautifully sets up the ultimate refutation provided by the source text. The answer to that question is a massive, resounding no. The text offers this powerful clarification. I am everywhere, and everything is in me, but still I am aloof. And there it is. This is the ultimate resolution to the riddle. Expanding presence through energy does not mean a loss of personal existence. The source can generate infinite energy that pervades absolutely everything, while simultaneously remaining completely intact, distinct, and totally aloof from the material manifestation itself. And the text gives us a brilliant analogy to illustrate exactly how this works in a way we can easily grasp. It calls it a crude example, but honestly, it is incredibly effective. Let's walk through the steps. Step 1, you have the king, who represents personal existence. The king is a specific individual. Step 2, you have the king's power, his authority and influence, which represents the energy. Then, step 3, you have the various government departments, which represent the physical manifestation of that power. The entire government rests on the king's power. But you would never expect the king to be personally sitting in every single department office. The king remains aloof in his palace, maintaining his personal existence, while his energy, his government, pervades the entire kingdom. Let's bring it all together with this final Sanskrit phrase from the text, Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam. This confirms the final resolution to our paradox. The text tells us that he is everywhere present, not by physical placement, but by personal representation, specifically the diffusion of his different energies. Just like the sunshine, just like the king's government, everything exists and rests on this diffused energy, allowing the Supreme to be intimately connected to everything, holding all beings within, while simultaneously remaining completely aloof and unmanifested to our ordinary, everyday senses. We've unpacked a massively complex ancient paradox today, strictly through the structure of these source arguments. But before we go, I want to leave you with a really provocative question to consider as you go about your day. If the material universe is merely the diffusion of a higher, unmanifested energy, how does that change the way you look at the physical world around you today? Does a tree, a building, or even the sunshine itself look a little different when viewed as a resting place of diffused energy rather than just a static object? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.